Thank you very much. It's a privilege for me to be here and to join this distinguished panel in this discussion on the path from crisis to peace in the Middle East. And for those of us who actually live in the region, this is not some kind of an abstract topic. This is our daily life, one that carries both, I would say, deep pain, but also deep hope. The Abraham Accord, signed in 2020 between Israel and several Arab countries, such as the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco, as well as Israel's earlier peace agreements with Egypt and Jordan, are living proof that normalization and partnership and coexistence are possible in the Middle East. Regrettably, as was said here before, the past 2 years reminded us how fragile progress can be. Mrs. Lini spoke about the horrific massacre of October 7, 2023, that was carried out by Hamas. And this was the trigger to why we found ourselves in war, and Israel was forced into this war. And this was a very dark day for Israel, and I think for the whole world. Yet, I would say that here lies a paradox. Out of war, a new opportunity can emerge, and out of destruction, sometimes comes the moral clarity to rebuild differently. And President Trump's 20-point peace plan is not a magic formula, but it does offer a framework that may help move us from managing crisis into transforming relationships. Israel approaches this moment with a clear conviction. Security must be the foundation of peace, and no people can reach out a hand in peace when rockets are rained on their homes. No nation can tolerate terror tunnels beneath its communities or its citizens taken hostage. And Israel will always defend its citizens firmly, decisively, and unapologetically. I want to make one more emphasis here. We did not fight the Palestinian people. We had a fight against a jihadi death cult. Hamas was, and still is, willing to sacrifice the people of Gaza and turn their lives into a nightmare in the futile pursuit of its jihadi dream. The October 7th massacre is also a brutal reminder that extremism, like Hamas, does not soften when it gains power or territory. And even today, Hamas continues to oppress the people of Gaza, and you all see, I think, the mass executions carried out by Hamas. Now, I would like to quote 2 sentences from point number 13 in President Trump's plan, because I think they are crucial for the success of this plan. And this is the quote: Hamas and other fractions agree to not have any role in the governance of Gaza, directly, indirectly, or in any form. All military, terror, and offensive infrastructure, including tunnels and weapon production facilities, will be destroyed and not rebuilt. Now, it's a massive challenge, it's an immense challenge, but we need to ensure that Gaza does not continue to be a base for terror. And if it remains governed by terrorists, there will be no peace. This is why exactly Israel supports the principles of President Trump's plan: disarmament, demilitarization, and de-radicalization, complemented by rehabilitation, reconstruction, and economic development. And now I want to broaden the scope beyond Gaza, because October 7 massacre was also made very clear Iran's long-term strategy. Iran had built what we call the Ring of Fire, a network of proxies promoting the goal of the destruction of Israel while distancing Iran itself from the fighting. Hamas was one of these proxies, and the Palestinian terror organization leaders expected that by launching a massive assault, Iran's other proxies would follow, bringing Israel to its knees. Standing against this axis of extremism led by Iran was a coalition of moderate countries. Some of them already had peace agreements with Israel. And despite harsh rhetoric at times, these countries have remained committed to those agreements and to the strategic choice they made by signing these agreements. They understand well, those countries in the region, that the threat posed by the radical jihadi camp is not just Israel's problem, it's their problem as well. And Iran's malign influence remains a central obstacle. Tehran's sponsorship of terror, its supply of weapons, funding, and training to the proxies continue to undermine the sovereignty of Lebanon, of Syria, of Iraq, of Yemen, and other countries. And in all these places, it is the local population that pays the price for Iran's ambitions. Yet today, there is an opening, and across the region, there is public discourse that is shifting. People are speaking more openly about disarmament, about accountability, and about the desire for normal life. And a new hope is emerging, fragile, but real. But I want to be honest, which is something maybe not typical for a diplomat. This window of opportunity we see today was not opened by words, it was opened by resolve and decisive action. It required a painful and violent confrontation in which Israel, while defending itself, dismantled this ring of fire, this network of terror that had long threatened us and held entire societies hostage in Gaza, in Lebanon, and in other places. Force alone cannot create peace, but sometimes it is the only way to remove those who stand violently in the path of peace. The people of the region now have a chance to reclaim their future. By weakening the chokehold of extremist and terrorist forces, space is opened for moderation, for dialogue and renewal, and diplomacy has a chance to succeed precisely because terror and extremism suffered a massive blow. And alongside those moderate countries I mentioned before that are already committed to peace, other countries in the Arab and Muslim world are signaling a growing openness to joining Abraham Accords. And I think that the lesson is clear. Engagement with Israel brings tangible benefits: investment, innovation, security, and stability. And the Abraham Accords taught us that normalization is not the end of the conflict, it is the beginning of a new logic, a logic in which Israelis and Arabs innovate together, invest together, build together, and even dream together. Thank you.